So it is time for Klimt Women Foam Stamps. Take 900. Action.
It wasn't quite that bad.
Close.
Yeah, okay, fine, I'll give you that. You know, whoops,
I got it.
the Klimt masks have been in Elizabeth's line for a while, and I don't remember exactly how long. And we've had a running argument / joke about these for a long time, about things that we wanted to do. And sometimes I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with these ideas that pop in my head. And my idea was, let's take some of these stencils and turn them into foam stamps.
Which was really a good idea.
Well, and when I sent these, we sent a whole bunch of samples to Elizabeth, and when I sent them, these were not on the list of what she was expecting. So I did that deliberately so she would be surprised when she opened them.
It was a surprise. I opened the box and there they were. And yeah, so fun. And I really love the delicate line work of these. They have some beautiful, real thin lines, and they stamp really nicely.
Yeah, we have played with them on and off for a while and had some really good luck stamping them because they work really well. And she's fun to watch when she starts to play. And she'll mention that when she talks about an ideology product that she was unaware of. And half the fun for me is watching her play with it. So
yeah, it was very cool. That is very cool. But
so
yeah,
so we go make some stuff.
Let's go show them how to do it.
All right. So 4 foam stamps that are based on Elizabeth's Klimt Women masks that, geez, they've been around for what, 3, 4, 5 years now, Elizabeth? It's been a while.
Yeah, something like that.
And what we did was, these were 5x7 as masks, and we've scaled them down a little bit because most of the time you're going to use this on a card or a journal page, and you don't need a giant woman. But in this size range, it works out pretty well because you can work on an A7 card and you've got room to add other things to it so she doesn't dominate the front of the card. So this is Contemplation. This is named Daydream, Enrobed, and you have Meditation. We color these with woodies so that when we photograph them for the website, you can actually see the detail, and obviously it's much easier for you to see here too. So I'm gonna quickly show you what I created, and for this I used Meditation, and then Elizabeth she actually created more than I did rather. She's gonna show you what she created, and she'll talk a little bit about her process. So if we slide these lovely women out of the way, and I just bring this in. So I used Meditation. This is a white card that I just did some kind of raggedy gel printing on. I stamped her on some ivory. This is with black VersaFine Clear. I used this ink. I stamped her on some ivory colored paper. I left her very simple. The background is busy. I didn't want to add anything to that. Like I said, a gel print I used, and you're going to see Elizabeth use these as well. We had a good time with these. I used Tim's Cello sticker tape. I also raised her up. This is the scrapbook adhesives, the 3D foam. I used her on the back. I used that on the back of her. This is the cello tape. I came in with a pencil. I was looking for something that was printed with text on it. And we have limited supplies here. So I just filled it in that way. And then when I created the envelope, I kind of put your place for your address and your return address, and I put her here. So there's a whole range of ways that you can use these stamps. You can stamp your envelope and you can stamp your card. You could also take something along this size. If I didn't want to use this as a card, I could tear this right here, and now I have a great focal image for a journal page. So keep all of that fun stuff in mind because there's plenty that you can do with these.
So making cards with these foam stamps is a lot of fun. And Barb presented a product to me that I was completely unaware of that is super fun. And these are the Cello sticker tape by Tim Holtz. And basically their stickers made to look like old tape. So like the way I ran with the idea of like the way that old photographs were taped into photo albums, because I thought it added another level of interest to the card making. So basically what I did was I stamped these girls off onto gel plate roll-off sheets. I mean, we all roll to clean our brayer on a clean sheet of paper, and you get these wonderful pieces of collage paper with variations of color that you couldn't do specifically if you wanted to. So I started with brown craft card and envelope blanks, and I used one of my patterns for layering stencils across the card, and I did it on the flap of the envelope. Then I took the Klimt woman stamped on a roll-off sheet, and I used the cellophane tape, the cello tape stickers to put it down on top. And then I'm leaving it blank inside. And then I decided she's got a lot of blue in her, so I picked up the blue and stamped that on the front. And I'm using the Versa Fine Clair. Basically, these are archival ink pads, so they're permanent and waterproof and fade proof.
That one might be this color. I think that was
one.
Warm Breeze. It
Yeah,
looks very
okay.
turquoise.
Yeah, that's the blue one. Yeah, Warm Breeze. So these are really nice for working when you don't want to pull out the gel plate, and the roll-off sheets we already had from working previously, and I'm sure that we all have some stuff like this. You could also stamp them on old book pages or sheet music or some kind of different unique background. There's many different ways to do it, but I liked doing them on some sort of a separate color, and then taping them with the cello tape onto the background. So I've got the one in blue. I got this one in this really kind of pretty soft pink. And on this one, I limited the stencil pattern to the bottom. I thought it was kind of fun to go around the back. And again, I did it on the envelope and the flap. So you've got a matching envelope to this one. And this one, I think this lady is my favorite. She's awful small and thin, but she's got like a cute smile, you know? And I like the way she overlapped, like this white really stands out on here. And all of these, I used that cello tape, and here I stamped her on the envelope. So the effect that I thought was super fun, and I haven't done much of this, was actually using the stamp pad and the mini ink blender tool to put the pattern through onto the paper. So I'm using my Patterns for Layering 2 stencil, and this is named Stars. So this is the card, and this is going to be the front of the card, but I do like pulling the pattern to the back. So I'm using the mini ink blender tool, and then this color is Sand Dune in the VersaFine Clair stamp line. So I'm just taking the mini ink blender, and I'm just getting the ink color from the pad on there. And then you just get it, when you blend it with a circular motion, you can get a soft edge on it, and you can put it over the whole surface of the front or just part of it. Bring it over the whole surface of the back or just part of it. And then I just dab it into the ink pad to get a little bit more. And you see, you get this soft edge of the blending. Depending on how much pressure you put and how many times you go over it, you can keep it really light with a soft edge. And I thought that was really cool. So, because it's different than using paint, and I just shifted it out of the way, so we got a doubled up pattern, but that's okay. So here I decided not to go across the whole thing, and you just do the same thing with the flap. I just lifted it out, and I just come down over the front a little bit for visual interest, but not too far so that we're obscuring the address area. Oh, I just shifted it again. I think my fingers are sticky today. So, but I do like the way that this ink allows me to have a soft blended edge. So I have a soft edge here. It's not a hard edge, and it's really kind of nice. It's just a nice background pattern. You can see that on both of these, that we get like a soft edge. So that's the mini ink blender tool with the ink from these lovely ink pads. So then I've got this girl, I stamped her in black onto another roll-off sheet. So I know that you know how to stamp, but I figured I'd just show you quick a tip for the stamp pad. You know, years ago, Barb, I used to press the stamp into the pad like this.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, and it's so much easier just to take the pad like this and just dab it over the surface of the stamp, or rub it, or both. You know, it's just easier. And then the other quick tip with this, let me show you first. And then you just, you know, give it a press, and you want to make sure you have pressure out to the detailed edges. Sometimes we tend to keep all the pressure in the middle, so you want to press out the edges, and then there's your stamp. So she stamps really nicely. They all have nice thin lines. But the other tip that I give you is after you've stamped it, because these are the oil-based ink pads, I like to just keep stamping it until very little color comes off. And then when you get, so you're cleaning it basically. And then after you stamp it several times and you have very little transferring, you can wipe it with a baby wipe or wet paper towel or something. Probably a baby wipe maybe to get the surface clean.
Honestly, as far as I go is to wipe off the excess with a paper towel.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all I do. And
Okay.
eventually it just dries on the surface. Because these are oil-based pads, I'm not certain, I haven't tried it. I don't know how a baby wipe would work. I would guess it would pick up some of it anyway.
Yeah. So I think stamping it until there's very pale coming off, you're cleaning the majority of it off onto a piece of paper. So we've got that. And so I stamped this one. Most of the other ones I kept square, but this one I actually was stamping on a scrap of what we had left of the roll-off paper, so it was kind of wonky, and then I just cut it the rest of the way. So I put it in here, and like I said, I kind of like leaving some areas not patterned. That way you get those soft edges, but you could cover the whole thing, or you could just run it on the bottom, or you could just run it down one side. There's a lot of different ways you could do it. And then with her, we'll tip her a little bit like that. And then these are just so much fun, Barb.
It's sometimes for me, half the enjoyment is showing you stuff you didn't know about and then seeing what you do with it.
Yeah. This is kind of off my radar because I'm not a big card maker, but I do love sending cards. So I make cards here and there. And I think you've heard me say this before. When I make them, I just make a pile of them so that they're good for a while. And I know that there are a lot of people that are very particular about cards being real super straight and perfect and accurate. And I love that for them, but that's not me, right? So I have fingerprints in my cards and smudges, and I can't get this tape off. And there we go. And smudges and fingerprints and all. And but you know what? I don't worry about it because I think that there are so few people in the world anymore that are actually mailing cards that my recipient is going to be thrilled to receive it. Smudges and fingerprints included.
It's the hand of the maker.
That's right. It is absolutely the hand of the maker. But that's just me. If you are a very accurate card maker, I'm not taking anything away from that. But if you are the kind of person who says, I can't be an accurate card maker, then you're in my camp and we're good with smudges and etc. So here we have that fun old tape on the card, on the roll-off sheet. And now I want to make the envelope match. So I'm going to grab this girl and grab this. I try to pick up a color from here for the envelope. It's not going to be exact, but it's kind of fun to take that purpley and put her on the envelope. So this one is the Very Perry. That was like the color of the year a couple of years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, Pantone. Color of the year. Yep. We need to know these things.
It's very important. I don't know what this year's color is.
I don't either. After the Perry, I think it was green.
Wasn't there a coral in there too or something along those lines?
Yeah.
I just don't remember what it was or when it was.
So now when you stamp this, and one thing to remember is that you look at the stamp this way, but you always need to remember that it's going to be the flip when you stamp it. So if you want her looking one way or to be on the side one way, I always look at it and think, oh, this is what I'm going to get, but what you're going to get is opposite. So I do try to stay away from the stamp area. So I like to put them on this side because I figure you can always put your return address on the back or if you've got a sticker. So I'm going to put her over here and she's just going to have to run off the bottom a little bit. So look at that. She came out great. So now she's, the brown envelope darkens it a little bit, but now we have like slightly purpley version of a matching envelope with a flap that has the same pattern as the card. Oh, you know what? Even with my fingerprints, that's pretty impressive.
It definitely is.
Right?
Yes,
Look at that. I like it.
Fun.
So that's, one of the fun ways to use the Klimt women. Barb does a lot of art journaling, and I can see them being a lot of fun in an art journal. But I am just going to share them with my friends and family. Okay, so you never can have enough Klimt in your life, right?
Absolutely not. If you have to find somebody to love and to let it dominate your life, he's a good one.
He's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, then. We'll see you back here next week.
Bye.